Whisper Frequency Episode 1. Close on Kate Blake's face. She sits in a dark room. A single lamp illuminates her. She speaks directly to the camera. Kate Blake whispering. I've been investigating disappearances for 7 years. I thought I'd seen everything. Then I heard the whisper. Cut to black. Title card. Whisper Frequency Episode 1. 1. The forest swallowed the road 40 kilometers before the station. Kate Blake knew this because she had driven the route 3 times. Now, standing at the edge of a clearing, she watched the last light drain from the sky. Behind her, the abandoned radio tower rose like a skeleton. Her camera drone hovered at 20 meters. She controlled it with one hand, her phone with the other. September 12, 2025. She said into her lapel mic. First entry. Whisper Frequency, Episode 1. She walked toward the main building. Graffiti covered the walls, but one phrase had been painted over many times and had bled through every layer. The cuckoo sang 9 times. Local legend says this place has been empty since 1987, she continued. But legends lie. She pushed the door. It opened with a groan. Inside, 9 chairs sat in a semicircle. Each had a pair of headphones hanging from the back. The headphones were covered in dust, and on each pair, near the earpiece, there were bite marks. Human, deep, made in terror. Kate zoomed in with her phone camera. Forensic reports from 1987 said these marks were made after the operators disappeared. No one ever explained how. She reached the control panel. The main console was dead, but a single red light blinked on a reel-to-reel tape machine. The police took the original tape in '87, she said, but a copy leaked. I have it here. She pressed play. A whisper filled the room. Low, repetitive. 7 seconds of noise, then silence, then again. It sounded like words, but not any language Kate recognized. 17 hertz, a voice said behind her. Kate spun. 2. Helen Scott stepped out of the shadows. 55. Metal-rimmed glasses, a portable spectrum analyzer in her hand. 17 hertz, she repeated. Infrasound, below human hearing, but you can feel it. Anxiety, nausea, hallucinations. You're early, said Kate. You're late. I've been here 3 hours. Helen pointed to the analyzer's screen. A jagged line pulsed in rhythm with the whisper. The tape isn't just audio, it's a carrier wave. Something was broadcast that night, not to the operators. Through them, Kate frowned. The human body resonates at certain frequencies. 17 hertz matches the resonant frequency of the human eye. It can cause visual distortions. Some researchers believe it can induce shared hallucinations. You think the whisper made them see something. I think the whisper was something. The door creaked again. More footsteps. James Raker entered. 62. Retired police commissioner. A leather folder under his arm. He didn't look at the chairs or the headphones. He went straight to the wall with the painted phrase. The cuckoo sang 9 times, he read aloud. This isn't local legend. This is a signature. I've seen it before. Where? Asked Kate. Monte Eagle, 1992. Different country, different victims. Same phrase on a wall. Same whisper on a recording. He opened his folder. Photos spilled onto the console. Bodies, a radio shack, and on the wall, the exact same words. The Monte Eagle case was closed as mass hysteria, Raker said. 9 technicians, all vanished. 1 returned 3 months later, no memory. Died in a car crash the next day. Just like here, whispered Kate. Just like here. The tape machine stopped. The silence was sudden and heavy. Then Sophie Ray's voice came from the doorway. My aunt was one of them. 3. Sophie Ray walked past them and touched one of the headphones. The youngest of the group, 41. Dark circles under her eyes. She held a small wooden box. Megan Brooks, she said. My aunt. She was the audio engineer on Project Echo. Project Echo? Asked Kate. A communication experiment. The government wanted to send messages using frequencies that couldn't be intercepted. But something went wrong. My aunt wrote about it in her diary. Sophie opened the box. Inside, a yellowed notebook. She read aloud. April 14, 1987. The frequency is alive. It changes when we speak. It listens. Sean Archer says we should stop, but the project leader, Robert Fisher, says we're close to something huge. I'm scared. Last night I heard my own voice coming from the speakers. I wasn't speaking. Who was John Archer? Asked Raker. Military liaison. He was one of the 9. Never found. And Robert Fisher, the lead engineer, also never found. Helen picked up one of the autopsy photos from Raker's folder. The technician who returned in the Monte Eagle case, she said. His autopsy showed massive adrenal fatigue, like he'd been in a state of extreme fear for weeks, but no physical injuries. Fear of what? Said Sophie. Fear of the whisper. Louis Sanderson appeared in the doorway, ex-military, 58, carrying an infrasound detector. He didn't say hello. He just pointed the device at the tape machine. It's still broadcasting, he said. The detector's needle jumped. That's impossible, said Helen. The machine isn't connected to power. I know. The needle jumped again. 3 pulses. Silence. 2 pulses. Silence. 1 pulse. That's a countdown, whispered Louis. Counting down to what? Asked Kate. No one answered. 4. They moved to a makeshift operations room in the station's former break room. Maps covered the walls. Transcripts of the whisper, written in several languages, lay on a table. Raker spread out the Monte Eagle photos. 9 technicians in 1987, 9 in 1992. Same phrase, same whisper, same pattern of disappearance. Except one came back in 1992, said Helen, and died 24 hours later, Raker added. The autopsy mentioned something strange. The back of his neck had a small scar, like an injection point, but no needle mark. Just healed tissue that wasn't there before. An implant? Asked Kate. Removed before death or dissolved? Louis placed his detector on the table. Infrasound at 17 hertz can cause panic, paranoia, and suggestibility. But it can't make 9 people vanish into thin air, unless they walked out on their own, said Sophie. My aunt wrote, the frequency tells us where to go. It's not a voice. It's a feeling, like being pulled. Pulled where? Asked Helen. She didn't say. Kate opened her laptop. A Reddit thread was already live. She had posted a preview of the episode an hour ago. 300 comments. She read one aloud. My grandfather worked at that station in 1986. He quit a month before the incident. He said that equipment started talking back to him. Said the static formed words in a language he didn't know. He died in 1990. His last word was cuckoo. The cuckoo, repeated Raker. Not a bird, a code name, or a warning, said Louis. 5. The team split up to gather evidence. Helen went to the transmission tower. She climbed the rusted ladder to the antenna array. At the top, she found something unexpected. A second antenna, smaller, not on any blueprint. It was aimed not at the sky, but at the ground. This is a ground-penetrating array, she said into her recorder. They weren't broadcasting to the world. They were broadcasting into the earth. Raker called an old contact at the National Archive. He asked for the original Project Echo files. They arrived in 20 minutes. PDF marked declassified, heavily redacted. One page was almost entirely blacked out, but at the bottom, a single sentence remained. The frequency matches a naturally occurring signal first detected in 1972 at a depth of 47 meters. Origin unknown. Repeat. Origin unknown. Kate monitored the Reddit thread. A user named @Raven1987 posted a link to a file. The file was an audio recording, not the whisper, something else. She played it. A man's voice, distorted, speaking slowly. The 9th egg is in the ground. They're all in the ground. Don't dig. He'll hear you. The recording cut off. Who is he? Kate typed in reply. @Raven1987 responded immediately. The cuckoo. Louis took his detector to the basement. The needle went wild. He followed the signal to a sealed door. The door had a sign. Project Echo authorized personnel only 1987. The seal was broken. Recently, someone's been here, he said. He pushed the door open. Inside, a room filled with recording equipment, and on the main console, a fresh cup of coffee, still warm. Sophie stayed in the break room. She read her aunt's diary from cover to cover. On the last page, a final entry, dated August 17, 1987, the night of the disappearance. We figured it out. The frequency isn't natural. It's a signal from something deep, something old. It's been calling for a long time. Tonight, we answer. If you're reading this, don't follow us. The cuckoo only takes 9 at a time. We are the 9th. The next 9 are already being chosen. Sophie closed the diary. Her hands were shaking. 6. They regrouped at midnight. The forest outside was silent. No wind, no insects, just the hum of the tape machine, still playing the whisper. The signal comes from underground, said Helen. That second antenna was pointing straight down. They weren't listening to the sky. They were listening to the earth. And something answered, said Raker. Or someone, said Louis. My aunt's diary says they answered the call, Sophie said, her voice breaking. They chose to disappear. But why? Because the whisper made them want to, said Helen. Infrasound at that frequency doesn't just cause fear. It causes euphoria, a sense of purpose, of destiny. You're saying a sound made 9 people walk into the ground, said Kate. I'm saying the sound made them believe something was waiting for them. The tape machine clicked. The whisper stopped. Then a new sound emerged. Clear, loud, a voice, but not human. It was a chorus of voices, layered, speaking in unison. The words were in English. 9 went down. 9 remain. The nest is full. The cuckoo sings again. The room went cold. Raker's phone rang. He answered. His face went pale. That was my contact, he said. The Monte Eagle site was just broken into. Someone stole the evidence locker. The only thing missing? The tape of the whisper. The same tape, said Kate. The same tape. Lewis looked at his detector. The needle was pinned at maximum. It's not a recording, he said slowly. It's a live broadcast. Right now. From somewhere under this building. They all looked at the basement door. 7. Kate filmed the closing from the station's roof. The tower loomed behind her. The forest stretched to the horizon, black and endless. We came here looking for answers, she said to the camera. We found more questions. 9 people disappeared in 1987, 9 more in 1992, and now someone is broadcasting the same signal from underground. In real time, she looked down at the basement door. Through the crack, a faint blue light pulsed. The signal isn't a recording, it's a beacon, and someone or something is still sending it. Her phone vibrated. At Raven 1987, the next 9 are already chosen. Check your subscriber list. Kate, the cuckoo, is among them. Kate stared at the screen. Then she looked at her channel's subscriber count. 200,001. One more than before. She zoomed in on the new subscriber's profile. No photo, no posts, just a join date, today. And a location, Northwood. The cuckoo is watching us, she whispered. And he's not on the mountain, he's in the comments. The blue light in the basement pulsed again, 3 times. Then silence. Then the whisper returned. Cut to black. Text on screen. Next episode, the 9th subscriber. Subscribe for episode 2 in 48 hours. The whisper is waiting. End of episode 1. Episode.